This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up on the news, buses of people against the Heartbeat Act coming to the state capitol today to talk to senators about abortion rights.
Plus, advocates for those who suffer from Alzheimer's and dementia were also in the Capitol today.
And it's pothole season. We rode along with city crews about the work being done to smooth out our streets. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. But first, tonight, we want to get you the very latest when it comes to your weather. It's been a very gray, kind of gloomy day today.
Yeah, a lot of fog, mist, and low clouds to deal with. So let's check in with Rusty for the very latest on how long this is going to last. Where's the sun, Rusty?
It's above all the drizzle and the fog and the mist. It's up there. It's just we've got a low deck of clouds and a lot of drizzle going on. We'll get past this eventually, but right now it just feels gray out there. It's just one of those days. This is what it looks like in Beatrice. Shones Roofing at 6th Street and Perkins, a very gray looking day out there. We've got temperatures that are holding steady around the middle and upper 30s, very close to 40 degrees in some spots, like Falls City at 42, 35 in Hebron, 35 in Lincoln, 30, it's near the freezing mark or below in south central Nebraska, like Grand Island, York, Central City at 26 degrees. All over the place, so temperatures in the 20s and 30s. A lot of cloud cover. Look at all that cloud cover. Doesn't look like a lot of precipitation is out there, but you factor in the visibility. In those areas that are below 3 miles worth of visibility, likely seeing some drizzle out there, and that's what we're at in Wahoo, Lincoln, Beatrice, Nebraska City, and Omaha. So some light drizzle out there, and we have winter weather advisories in place for freezing drizzle through Thursday morning for central and southwest Nebraska, and then that's for tonight into tomorrow morning, and then a few inches of snow possible in north central and northeast Nebraska, and that's for Thursday. That's the best chance for accumulating snowfall, but just about everybody has a chance for accumulating snowfall as we head through Thursday morning, so lots to talk about in just a few minutes.
Sounds good, Rusty. Thank you very much. You've probably noticed at this time of year already, pothole season is here.
City crews are out working the streets, but did you know you can help them get the job done? Channel 8's Jessica Blum has more on what crews are working on right now. Jessica?
Yeah, it's now during the months of February through April, and there's an increase in that freeze-thaw cycle, and crews from Lincoln Transportation and Utilities devote more resources at this time than normal. But the city also repairs potholes all year long. About 50,000 potholes get filled by LTU in a year, with a lot of help coming from reports online. Unable to see every hole in Lincoln streets, it helps them to know where to devote resources as these messages come in. And safety is of utmost importance as they cruise the city to do that patchwork. While trying to be safe, a unique part of the job is the potholes that are hard to get to.
The oddest thing is, it depends on where the pothole is. So you have to deal with traffic coming this way, this way. Like if they got a turn lane, you want to come in, you want to get next, there's a hole next to an island and you're sticking out. So you have traffic coming this way, traffic coming this way. So it's kind of a little hectic a little bit here and there. So you just got to go with the punches.
The advice for drivers, slow down and give enough space for crews to work as they try to improve the roads. So in helping out, you can report potholes going to up LNK, like you see on your screen there, .lincoln.ne.gov. And there'll be more to share with you tonight at 6 as crews from LTU let me ride along with them this morning.
But that was fun. Okay, learning experience. Jessica Blum, thank you. Look forward to the story at 6 o'clock. Well, today the Alzheimer's Association of Nebraska visited with some senators at the Capitol.
That's right. They wanted to talk about bills that would benefit those affected by the disease. Channel 8's Matthew Mittleiter has more on that story. Matthew?
Advocates from across the state joined at the Capitol today to share their stories and urge their elected officials to support several bills this year, including LB 814. It would create a dementia-specific position at the Department of Health and Human Services. The association says right now there are staff designated to other chronic diseases, such as asthma, arthritis, and cancer, but there is no one designated for Alzheimer's or dementia. Advocates say the lack of coordination and supports are affecting the 35,000 Nebraskans who currently deal with Alzheimer's disease, and it's important they make themselves known to the senators who represent them.
It's important for them to have a face to go with the issues that they're addressing, that they're voting on, to know that it's not just numbers and statistics, but these are real faces, their real lives are being impacted by the work that they're doing.
Other bills that would help are LB 57, which creates a paid family and medical leave insurance program for those experiencing serious illnesses such as Alzheimer's. LB 345 would also define palliative care to ensure that healthcare providers in Nebraska understand the care needed to address serious illnesses. Advocates say the goal is to improve the quality of life for both patients and their families in Nebraska. I'll have more on this story tonight at 6.
Looking forward to it, Matthew. Thank you very much. Also down at the state capitol today, abortion rights advocates were there.
They met with state senators to let them know their oppositions to abortion bans, and Channel 8's Veronica Barreto was there today. She joins us now from the newsroom with more. Veronica?
Planned Parenthood says around 100 people signed up to join them at the Capitol today. I talked to a group of ladies who came all the way from Grand Island, as well as to a state senator who says most of his constituents are pro-life. As part of Planned Parenthood's Lobby Day, the organization headed to the state capitol together with a group of abortion rights advocates to talk to state senators.
Telling them why they should oppose LB 626. That we know that this is not what the majority of Nebraskans want, so we want to make sure that the senators are hearing that today.
LB 626, also known as the Heartbeat Act, is sponsored by Senator Johnny Albright. It would ban abortions after an ultrasound detects a heartbeat, which supporters say happens around 6 weeks of gestation.
Access to abortion is a fundamental right that everybody should have. We should have the right to make decisions about our own bodies.
The organization says that they were joined by people from different parts of the state. 3 friends from Grand Island decided to make the trip to the Capitol.
And I'm just so disappointed that we're back now to where medical care won't really be available to people who need it.
If you are going to say support life, then you have to do it across the board.
Abortion advocates say not all of the senators were very open for discussion. Senator Steve Halloran from Hastings says he supports the Heartbeat Act and says he thinks that is what Nebraskans want.
I think the vast majority of Nebraskans do support this and respect it. There's enough exceptions built into the bill.
According to the Department of Health and Human Services, about 85% of abortions in Nebraska occur after 6 weeks. This was one of the reasons that motivated the bill.
We're relating to people the understanding that it's essential that we protect the unborn once a heartbeat is detected.
And Planned Parenthood says they will use every tool they have to fight abortion bans in the state. Now, the Heartbeat Act bill is on general file, waiting for discussion on the legislative floor.
Veronica, thank you very much for that report again live from the newsroom. We turn to crime news now. Just before 9 o'clock last night, officers responded to a robbery at Risky's Sports Bar near 48th Street and Layton Avenue.
A man took cash from the register and customers grabbed him, held on to him before he could leave. When police arrived, they say they arrested 32-year-old Delmer Dormer. While handcuffed, they say he tried to run and get away. He was tackled by police. They say he had an active warrant and, of course, now is facing more charges.
LPD also needs your help after a business was burglarized. Last Thursday, someone broke into the Highest Cloud vape shop near 48th and Fremont Streets. Surveillance video captured these 2 suspects ramming the building with a T-post and loading up on various vaping items. They caused over $600 in damages and losses.
By the way, if you have any information, you can always call Lincoln Crime Stoppers at 475-3600. Workers at Lincoln's Warhorse Casino are receiving 2 days of training to better identify and prevent human trafficking.
The CEO says their goal is for every team member to have a not on my watch mentality when it comes to trafficking. Warhorse will also host a roundtable discussion for community members and businesses. That's tomorrow at its Indian Village offices in Lincoln, and it's expected to start around 1 o'clock. Nebraska's Health and Human Services is also recognizing March as Problem Gambling Awareness Month. Some of the warning signs include not being able to stop gambling despite the harm it causes, gambling more after a loss, gambling as an escape, stealing, and lying about the time and money spent on gambling.
Now, for those struggling with gambling addiction, you can always reach out to the Nebraska Problem Gamblers Assistance Program. You can call or text. There's some numbers on there for you. Here in Nebraska, it's 1-833-BET-OVER. You can also call the national helpline. It's 1-800-522-4700. And coming up, Fox News host Tucker Carlson finds himself in hot water after some lawmakers say he's downplaying footage of January 6th.
This comes after pages of communication on Fox's coverage of the 2020 election were made public yesterday. We'll be right back.
Wait, hold up. DQ put fries and onion rings? Happy
Fox News are facing backlash
as the representative gave Tucker Carlson exclusive access to surveillance video from the January 6th insurrection. And McCarthy is doubling down, saying he has no regrets after Carlson called the events, quote, mostly peaceful chaos.
These were not insurrectionists, they were sightseers.
McCarthy cites transparency as the reason for releasing the footage, though the 40,000 hours of footage were only released to Fox News. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are accusing Carlson of downplaying the attack, but some stand by Carlson.
There's no question but that January 6th was a riot, an insurrection attempt, an effort to overturn the process designed in the Constitution to allow the voice of the people to be carried out in who we have as our elected representatives. It's awful what some people are willing to do to get some eyeballs or get a little extra money.
And I think the January 6th committee has deliberately tried to create the impression that most folks who came here are terrorists, and that's just wrong. And I think a lot of this footage disproves that. But like I said, I hope we'll make it all public. I mean, let's let everybody see all of it.
In documents made public yesterday, Carlson wanted to stop covering Trump 2 months after the election, quoted as saying in a message to his producer, "I hate him passionately." That quote comes from a trove of evidence, including texts, emails, and other communications.
They were submitted by Dominion Voting Systems as part of their $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit. Included are the statements from Fox chairman Rupert Murdoch, rejecting conspiracy theories touted by his network after the 2020 election, and internal communications showing the staff privately dismissing the theories. Dominion says all the evidence speaks for itself, but Fox says Dominion is distorting and misattributing the quotes as part of a smear campaign.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Lots to get to tonight, but first we're going to set the stage with what it looks like out there right now. Lots of moisture out there. There is a lot of dense fog, some light drizzle. And every now and then we might see a snowflake or a raindrop. There's a lot going on in this forecast, but Southeast Community College, it's getting denser and denser with that fog out there. Temperatures are hovering above the freezing mark for some and below for others. This is a great place to start for this forecast. It includes rain and snow and drizzle and freezing drizzle and just about everything else except the kitchen sink. There's a lot into this forecast, but temperatures are warm enough right now, 42 degrees in Falls City for rainfall, but cold enough for snowfall just over here in Central City at 26 degrees, 30 in Columbus. So that kind of sets that stage. The wind isn't much of an issue, but it's not a non-factor out of the north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Visibility, for most of us, 10 miles worth of visibility. It's cloudy, but those clouds really sink down close to the surface in Columbus, Wahoo, Lincoln, especially in Beatrice at 1.3. And these areas are likely seeing that drizzle right now. Now, the satellite and radar isn't really showing the drizzle, but it's out there and it's just teeny tiny, so radar is hard to pick up on that. But look at all of that cloud cover, just wall to wall to wall to wall cloud cover. Now, nothing has started yet, but that freezing drizzle potential has been kind of ongoing throughout the day. So south central and central and into southwestern Nebraska, freezing drizzle through Thursday morning. And then the best snow potential for Thursday, the first half of the day, has a winter weather advisory as well. So kind of two different winter weather advisories. This one's for snow and that one down in the south and west is for freezing drizzle. So here we go with the stormcast. You'll notice this area right here generally stays green, and then the snow potential further to the north, and then a kind of a rain snow mix in pink here in the middle. So let's go forward, and this is the line that we need to watch closely. Heavy rain here, snow here. And when I say heavy rain, quarter to maybe a half an inch total. This is Thursday morning, 4 a.m. By about 5, 6, 7, into 8 and 9 o'clock, notice it just kind of turns green and the snow stays to the north, rain stays to the south, but boy, any movement south and east, and you're looking at rain changing to snow. And then as we get into Thursday afternoon, everything starts to pull to the north and east, taking with it the rain snow mix, and the snow. Then that's it. So we've only got about 18 hours and then we'll just see cloudy skies for the second half of the day on Thursday. So because of that very defined line that can move one way or the other, I'm just going to say a trace to 2 inches from Omaha, Lincoln, Grand Island, Broken Bow, less to the south like Nebraska City, Beatrice, Hebron, Fairbury, trace to 1 inch, and then 2 to 4 further north. And then I think the highest will be the further north and northeast for northeastern Nebraska, 4 to 6 in and around the O'Neill area. But keep in mind, the rainfall potential is out there as well. So 3/10 of an inch, 4/10 of an inch, maybe over a half an inch of rain. Any of that changes over to snow quickly, and then my forecast is awful. We'll see what happens. This is one of those forecasts where anything can happen. Temperatures falling to around the freezing mark, case in point there. A little cooler and we see more snow, a little warmer and we see more rain. And then those high temperatures tomorrow, pretty close to 40 degrees. So we're just going to say a mix is likely. 40 degrees, 41 on Friday, 42 on Friday. So it takes Saturday, so it takes a while to warm up. We'll eventually get there, I think, next week. We're changing the clocks on Sunday, 42 degrees on Monday, then back into the 50s by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week with more chances for precipitation. I wish it would either be rain or snow. Mother Nature does not want to make up her mind. She's just kind of hanging out with old man winter saying, let's mess with the weather guys. So I think that's what they're doing. But it is going to be a mess tomorrow morning. We could see rain, we could see snow at the same time, or one or the other.
Well, Rusty, thank you as always for keeping us updated. A split day on Wall Street today, the Dow falling 58 points, NASDAQ gaining around 46, S&P also adding just 5. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Tonight, the 4 Americans kidnapped in Mexico, 2 found dead.
Middle schools will receive new band and string instruments. It's all thanks to a grant from the Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation.
2, 3, 4, 1.
These Goodrich 7th and 8th grade orchestra students show how important music is to education. The school is one of the middle schools receiving a portion of the $122,000 grant from the Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation. The foundation donates to music programs where students have access to a music curriculum but lack the resources and support based to adequately keep up with equipment loss.
I think that it's really great to be able to say yes to them when they say they want to learn something new. And then they get to have a community of people that they can grow up with and learn with. It also gives them, I like to give them a lot of control over what they're learning and how they're learning it, so it helps them be independent problem solvers, critical thinkers.
Goodrich will receive a little more than $26,000 of those dollars, which will help provide the orchestra with a bass, a cello, and a few violas. The band will also get some new instruments, so good news there. In total, that money will be able to provide 14 to 15 instruments. Good stuff there. What about you? I played trumpet for a couple of years, 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah, I played the flute and piano for a few years. Rusty?
Nope, I wasn't in any kind of band or anything like that. But
it's not for everyone.
I tell you what, though, they were very, very important parts of. I was in basketball, and they were really important at every single game, being as loud as they possibly could be.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. All right, let's get a final check.
Okay, here's the forecast. It's gray out there. I think that's one word that sums up the entire state is gray. We've got a lot of cloud cover. You can tell Penner Bathing Solutions in Aurora. The clouds waving around a little bit with a gusty north wind around 5, 10, maybe 15 miles per hour, but no precipitation out there yet. We are seeing a report of some light snow falling in Columbus, otherwise cloudy skies and temperatures holding right around that freezing mark. Now this is going to be very important. If it's below the freezing mark, you'll see a better chance of snow. If it's above the freezing mark, like Lincoln at 35, 36 in Beatrice, a better chance for rain. And where that line sets up, where it's cold enough for snow, is going to be very important. So like I said, the entire state is just gray. No precipitation really showing up, but freezing drizzle is possible in central Nebraska and southeast Nebraska as we head through the evening hours. And then through Thursday morning, I think a trace to 1 or 2 inches possible in southeast Nebraska, but there's also a better chance for rain. And then the further north you go, the better chance you have for snowfall, 2 to 4 inches from Norfolk to Valentine, and then O'Neill south a little bit more. So your forecast, mixed likely on Thursday, mostly cloudy on Friday, then another chance for some mixed precipitation on Saturday. Temperatures holding steady in the lower 40s for high temperatures the next 3 days. So a very middle of February kind of feel to the forecast. Hour by hour tomorrow, we have a chance for some mixed precipitation tapering off, I think, as we head into the evening hours. The better chance for that precipitation will be in the morning. So we'll keep an eye on things and update snowfall potential as the evening progresses.
A messy day. All right. Thank you, Rusty, and thank you all for joining us.
World News with David Muir is up next. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
Need a better night's sleep? Come see us. At Comfort Made Mattress Factory, our custom-made mattresses are built to your needs, backed with a lifetime comfort guarantee.